All right, the next question really has to do with disability. Can you tell us more about how disability works?
Sure. We have two bank paid disability plans. We have both short term disability and long term. Short term is going to be 11 weeks, and there's a 2-week waiting period that you have to be off work before that disability insurance would start to pay. And then if you get to the point where you go through the whole short-term disability period and you're still disabled, then the long-term disability would kick in. There's a 90-day wait for that, which is satisfied by the short-term. And again, both of those are paid by the bank. The short-term disability pays 70% of salary, and then the long-term would pay 60%. And that long-term can actually go until you are Medicare eligible.
One thing that I hear and have read in some communications is the term imputed tax for the short term disability and also actually for the life insurance policy as well. Can you tell me more about imputed tax?
Yes, the imputed tax on short-term disability means that at the end of the year on one check, at least for this year, the employee will pay tax on the premium only for short-term disability. And what happens is this allows that if the employee has to collect those benefits, that those benefits are not taxable, which is a great thing to have. With the life insurance, the government says that you don't have to pay tax on the first $50,000 in group term life insurance. Yay, so we lose that. But in order for those benefits to be non-taxable to the beneficiaries, we do have to pay tax on the benefits that are left. Over 50,000 and up to a max of 350. And so again, once a year, we're going to pay tax on the premium or tax on the insurance up to $350,000.
Going back to the disability aspect, are we required to exhaust our paid leave before disability kicks in?
We do have a coordination benefit with that, so that if you do have to be off on short term, we do require that you use your PTO time, but we do allow you to reserve 1 week of that to be used later in the year for, if you need to take a vacation, if you've had things planned, or for potential covering of time off if you're sick or, need to attend an appointment or something like that.
Let's move into some questions that we have about the supplemental plans. I know that we have two policies, critical illness and accident. What are the differences between those policies?
The main difference, and again, they're both through Allstate, they are both employee paid 100%. Those premiums do come out of your check pre-tax, so you don't pay tax on the money that you use to pay for the premiums. But with the critical illness, it's kind of exactly how it sounds. It's designed to reimburse you a certain amount of money based on a diagnosis for a critical illness. And those are typically things like heart attack, stroke, cancer, coma, organ transplants, things like that. And they have two tiers. They have a 10,000 tier and a 20,000 tier, and depending on which one you choose and which premiums you pay will determine what your benefit level is for that plan. With the accident plan, they reimburse you for things that you may incur out of pocket as a result of an accident. And this can be a car accident. You can fall off a ladder. You can step off a curb and break your ankle. Anything that could be considered an accident. And so they will cut you a flat amount of money check for things like ambulances, hospital stays, x-rays, lab work. It just depends on what kind of an expense you have. But they'll go down the list and figure out what you've incurred, and they will basically cut you a check.
Another benefit documentation that I see a lot is about COBRA. Can you give us a quick rundown of what COBRA is and how it would work?
Hopefully no one here will ever have to have COBRA, but what COBRA is designed to do is that if you are insured for medical and dental and you leave employment with the bank, you have the opportunity for 18 months, and in some cases longer depending on the situation, but for up to 18 months to continue that medical and dental insurance under COBRA. And what that means is that you can continue the policy, but you do pay the full boat premium for both of those, and that goes through the Georgia Bankers Association.
All right, thank you for that information.
You're very welcome.